Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Shamo Polot here. This week I have a really exciting feature that I would like to share with you. This is going to be really useful for all you side hustle business owners, small business owners. You just have a few things that you want to sell to a bunch of people really quickly. And this is mainly tailored to my audience in UG, but we can always figure out ways to adjust it if you live outside UG and you follow me, okay? Okay, so we're going to start in our Google form, which is the main order form, which is what all the clients will see. So we want to set it up such that the clients can fill this information out and send it to us, and then this goes to a Google Sheet, and then from that Google Sheet it goes into an invoice, and then from that invoice gets emailed to the client based on the email address that they put inside this form. Okay, so I set up the Google form here really quickly with first name, last name, delivery address. What candle would you like to order? How many candles do you want? Mobile money number for paying. This is for your benefit, and it's one of the limitations of Document Studio. It will make sense in the end. I'll explain it. I'm just going to add email address just because I forgot that. Sorry, I have a bunch of shortcuts. Let me just do email. And let me do response validation. Say it must be email. Just enter valid email. Okay, and I'm just going to move this up. I think it makes sense to have it just below the last name right there. Okay, so I think our form has everything that it needs. The candles are blue, red, black, and white. I'm so creative, as you can see. And then how many candles, and so on and so forth. Okay, all right, so what I want to do is create what we call a pre-filled link, and that's going to help me for that mobile money option. This is because, you know, I'm targeting mostly my Ugandan people. Okay, and so you want to put your mobile money number here. Let's say 772-123-456. This is not my number. Don't try to text it, you'll be very disappointed. But okay, so otherwise the rest of the form looks good. Okay, so now this is the link that I'll share with the clients with this mobile money part already filled out. Okay, so I just click get link and then copy link. Okay, and then now we are ready to test it out. Okay, so I copy the link, and this is what. So this is the link that you can put on your Instagram or on your social media handle so people can fill out these forms. But before we do that, I want to connect our Google form to a spreadsheet. Okay, so I'm just going to call this order candles. If you don't know this, every time you create a Google form, the responses are automatically populated into a Google Sheet. And you can either choose to send those responses to an existing sheet or you create a new one. In this case, we want to create a new one, which is what I'm doing right now. So I just click create, and then voila, our spreadsheet is created with all the different columns corresponding to all the different entries that have to be filled out by the clients. Okay, so now we are ready to test this out. So let's use the pre-filled link, which is this. Okay, so let's enter Jane, email. Let's use my email just so whenever the response happens, we can actually see it work. Delivery address, let's say Hololo, and let's say she wants a blue candle, and let's say how many candles? Let's say she wants 5. Okay, and then that's it. So they shouldn't change this because this is for your benefit. This is one of the drawbacks of using Document Studio, but as you know, cheap things will cost you sometimes, but I think we can work with this. All right, so I click submit, and then as we can see here, we have the response populated in our Google Sheet. Okay, so now I want to add 2 more columns. I want to add a column for unit price of the candles, and I want to add a column for total amount, which we are going to compute after the fact. Okay, to do that, I'm going to add a separate sheet. This sheet, I'm going to call it prices, and then I'm going to fill this out. Okay, and then so items, I want the candles. So what candles do we have? I just want to remember blue, red, black, white. Okay, so blue, red, black, and white. Okay, I want to increase this zoom a bit so you can see a little clearly. All right, so then I'm going to make up a bunch of prices. So let's say the blue candle is 50,000, the red candle is that much, the black is that much. Okay, let me just change this format to a Uganda shilling, currency Uganda shilling. There we go. All right, and we are good to go. So now I want to pull that unit price from this sheet to here, corresponding to the type of candle that has been selected. To do that, I'm going to use a VLOOKUP. If you do not know how to use VLOOKUP, let me know. I'm happy to make a video. I will just show you how to do it whenever. Okay, but so the VLOOKUP function, the search key we want is blue, which is the candle. The range we want is this range right here. Okay, I'm just going to fix that, Fn plus F4, just to fix that. Okay, then the index, which is which column are we looking into, which is the second one. That's where we want to get our prices from, so that's 2. And is sorted, we don't really need that, so I can just close the bracket at that point and press enter. And as you can see, 50,000 blue, and just to confirm, the blue candle is 50,000 shillings. Okay, and there we have it. Okay, so then next I want to compute the total amount. Computing the total amount is equal to number of candles multiplied by the unit price. Okay, and we press enter, which gives us the total amount. Okay, but now I want to make it such that every time we have a new form filled out down in these subsequent rows, we need to make sure that these unit price and these total amounts fill out as well automatically. In order to do that, we need to change this formula into what we call an array formula, which will apply to the entire column. Okay, so to do that, the first thing I do is I change this range to F. Okay, and as you can see, what that means is F2 to F just means the entire F column. Okay, then once that is done, what I do is I hold Control, Shift, and Enter, which changes it into an array formula. And then I press enter, and so now what you have is we have a bunch of NAs because Excel is looking through the entire row and it's finding a bunch of empty spaces. So for example, if I type red in here, you see the red price, unit price will fill out. And as you can see here, red, the unit price, that isn't right. Why is it pulling up 34,000? There is something wrong with our VLOOKUP formula. Let me just edit that VLOOKUP formula really quickly. I think it's probably the range. Okay, so I'm going to go in there. So yeah, let me edit the VLOOKUP formula a bit. Okay, so the range we want is that. Okay, and then the index is 2, and this is sorted, we don't need that, so we close that and we press enter. So now, as you can see, it has been updated correctly, so the red candle is 60,000. all right, okay, so now let me just delete that. Okay, so but I can make these NAs go away. To do that, I just insert an if function into the array formula, and this is a bit complicated for you, but all I'm trying to do is tell Excel to look inside this column, which is the F column, and every time, as you can see, that's my logic expression is blank. Every time it's actually blank, I want you to return nothing. This will remove the NAs from here, and when the value is false, which is mean if it's not blank, then I want you to return whatever is in our VLOOKUP. Okay, again, this is not about the VLOOKUP function, so for now just go with the flow. I can explain the formulas in detail later over at my blog. But yes, so then I'm able to do that. So I want to do the same for the total amount. So I'm also going to edit these to ranges, like that, 8 to I, and then Control-Shift-Enter to change them to array formulas. Enter, we get a bunch of zeros, and again we get a bunch of zeros because there are zeros in these subsequent rows. And again, we can fix that using an if function is blank G2 to G, like that, and the zeros are gone. Okay, so now I just want to test to see if this is working by filling out our form one more time. Okay, so let's go back to our Google form and let's just fill it out again. Okay, so let's put James, and let's do est@com, random email. Let's do Bugolobi. Let's do black. How many candles? Let's say he wants 3. Oh, I picked the wrong link instead of the get free link. So I have to enter this again, but I'll fix that a bit later. Okay, all right, so now let's go back in here. So as we see, this fills out and it also computes the price of the candles. Let's just check in here to make sure it picked the right unit price. Black, 34,000, 34,000. Perfect. Okay, so now this is good to go. This is automated up to this point. The next thing we need is now to create our invoice. Okay, so to create our invoice, we're going to create an invoice template, and you can create an invoice from Google Sheets by just going to File, New, and then from Template Gallery. Okay, that's how you do it. So I already have the invoice here. So now we just want to edit the invoice a bit, you know, make it look like it belongs to our, it's been sent from our company. So let's call our company Beauty Candles. I'm going to remove this. Whatever doesn't make sense, I'll delete. Okay, so let me just put Kampala. Okay, so now the most important part of this entire process is what we call markers. Okay, we need markers that tell Excel, look inside our Google Sheet for this specific variable, whether it's the person's first name, and put that first name in this invoice. We need a way to tell Excel to look for the specific variable of the specific client who has filled out the form. That may not make sense to you right now, but let me show you what that means. Okay, so for example, submitted on, okay, what we can do is I can have it as submitted on that, and then I go into our Google Sheet and I got the timestamp, which is going to be when the order was submitted, and then I'm going to enter it here. But in order to enter it, I have to surround it by double curly brackets. These are called markers. This is really important. Then I paste timestamp in there, and we'll leave it like that. The reason why this is important is because actually I think it might occupy too much space, so I'm going to remove submitted on and just leave it as timestamp. Okay, just so our invoice looks nice. Okay, so the reason why I copy and paste is because this word timestamp has to look exactly the same as it does in our Google Sheet. If it doesn't, you're going to get a bunch of problems. We might get some problems later because I might make a mistake in here, but we shall fix it in real time. Okay, so invoice 4, so we have name. So what I'm going to do is double curly brackets, go into our order form and get the first name, copy that, and then paste it like that. And then I'm going to delete all of these. Maybe I'll leave address. So do double that. Let me go to delivery address, copy that, paste it in here, surround them by the curly brackets again. Hopefully you now get a hang of what I'm trying to do. So that way when someone fills out the form and the invoice is sent, it will have their specific name in here. That's what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, so then I can put here something that says pay by mobile money. Let me move this here. Pay by mobile money. and I'm going to put, now this is why I added that mobile money number into the form, so it can be collecting our mobile money number every time. Okay, does that make sense now? Yeah. So I copy and paste that. Okay, so it looks great. Sorry, I'm just trying to make this like that. Okay, so I can put a sort of like fill color in here just so the mobile money number maybe stands out. Also, maybe I can bold it. Maybe also add. All right, so then I'm going to remove item 1, item 2. What I'm going to put here instead is, what do you think? What candles do you want? Okay, exactly. So I copy that. So I come in here and I paste it, double curly brackets. Okay, for the quantity, what do I want? How many candles do you want? Okay, that's it. So I come in here, double curly brackets, and there we go. Let me delete that. Unit price, same thing. So I might like fast forward through this because I'm doing the same thing over and over again, because I think you get a hang of it now. Okay, this total amount has a sum function embedded into it. I'm going to delete this in this case, and I'm just going to make it equal to whatever's in there. Okay, all right. Okay, in notes, maybe I'll put thank you for your business. Let me just merge those two. Go to merge cells, merge horizontally, just so we can see that there. Let me add a question mark. Okay, there we go. The next thing that I want to add is, wait, maybe I want to add, let me move this down a little bit. Okay, maybe I want to add an image, our logo. Let me add our logo in there. So let me do insert image, image over cells. Let me get something from Google. Let's see if I can find a random logo from Google that has a candle. Forgive me, graphic design is not my strong suit, so this might look a little ugly, but I'm just trying to get a point across. Okay, and there's our image. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to drag this up here, make it a bit smaller just so it fits. There we go. And I think we're done. I'm just going to remove this fill because all of a sudden it doesn't look so nice to me. Okay, and that's what our invoice is going to look like. Okay, pretty basic, but good enough. Okay, so now that we've set up our invoice, okay, now we can use Document Studio. Okay, now you can get Document Studio by just going to extensions and going to add-ons, and then so you go to get add-ons, and then have this load up a little bit, and then you type Document Studio, and this is what we're looking for. Install. Google will ask you if you're sure about making this life choice, and trust me, it's good. And it says yes, it collects a bunch of information, but again, don't worry about it. It's good. No one's going to steal your information, I promise. Okay, and then it has been installed and done, and so we are good to go. And now it appears here. So now we can go and click open. Okay, so we click open, and then this little side window opens up. Okay, and now we have to answer a bunch of questions to make so that all this makes sense. So first is create merge documents when rows are added in the sheet. This is what we want to do, so we click yes. Then it asks us to select a template in Google Drive that we want to merge to this sheet, and what we want to merge is a Google Sheet. And what Google Sheet is it? We want to merge the invoice template. Okay, does that make sense? So I select that and click OK. So Document Studio is now just saying, okay, you have a you have a Google form, you have a Google sheet, you want to merge that with the invoice thing you just created. And as you can see, it found a bunch of markers. Again, the markers are really important because that's how it tracks where it's going to pull the data from this sheet. Okay, so merged file name, so you could give it a name. Let's give it Candle Business. Export format, let's leave it as PDF. Okay, oh sorry, typo. Okay, then merge with mail. So now merge with mail, this is when I click yes, so we can create an email template that we're going to use for our to email our client. Okay, so now we're just going to say hi. Okay, and again, remember markers again. So you come here, and so we're going to get first name, comma. So thank you for your order. Can't type to save my life. Of. Okay, so now we want to go and get, I need to get this, I need to copy it, just so I don't make a mistake. So I need to copy that. How many candles do you want? Copy that. So your order of, so ID, it will be of order of 4. Then what kind of candles, right? So then that will be what candle would you like to order. Okay, so I copy that, go back in there, paste that, make sure I surround it with the markers, and then candles, so I'll do in brackets in case they order only one. Okay, then please pay by to this number. Okay, and then I go and I get this. Again, this now makes sense why I added this there, right? Okay, so I paste that, surround by curly brackets. Okay, please find your invoice attached. Then you can say thank you for your business, and then let's put, I'm going to put my name, Shem. Okay, so this is what this looks like. Then really quickly, email specific people. So send email to, right, it's, so these are these columns again are from where? From our Google sheet. As you can see, total amount, unit price, all that stuff. Okay, so I want them to send email to that, to email. And you could add specifically here, you could add maybe your personal email. I'm going to add the email I'm using for the form, just so every time I test it can come to me so I can see if it actually works. Email subject, let's say your order of. Okay, then let me get, paste it there. Let me see, order of the blue candles, I think. So let me add the here and a space. As you can see, detail matters. Okay, candle. Okay, sender's full name, remove Document Studio, you want it to be Beauty Candles. Okay, all right, I think we are good to go. Let me bold this phone number. Maybe I'll also bold this. Okay. And then make sure this is checked. Include the merged document as an email attachment. It's referring to the invoice that we created. All right, I think we are good to go. Let me click save. Okay, then I go to Google Forms Publisher, generate documents, send emails from Google Form responses. That's a yes. Upload to Google Drive. In this case, we want to make sure that whatever documents are created from every specific client, we can decide what folder they go into. Okay, so for now, because I'm on Vibes, I'm leaving that here. And so you may want to change this so it goes to a specific folder with the client name. So that's a subfolder we can put them in, so you can find them easily. Okay, and then file sharing permissions, that we're going to ignore for now. Finish and merge, leave everything checked. Then we want to check merge on form submit, which just means merge once someone orders the candle. Okay, so then we click save. And it's taking a bit long, but yeah, click save. And then we are good to go. Okay, so now we are ready to test. Fingers crossed. Let us pretend that we are a client coming in to fill the form. And but I want the pre-filled link. So I'm going to ignore this one. Let me just delete this one and go back to my Google Drive to get pre-filled link. Okay, let me get a pre-filled link. 256-772-123-456. Okay, get a pre-filled link, copy it, paste it there. So now this is what I want us to fill out. Okay, so let me try Jake Villa. So let me use my email address so everything comes to me from Kajansi. They want a white candle. How many of them? Let's say they want 6 because they're feeling rich today. Submit, and let's see what happens. What should happen is we should receive an email. So I should receive an email. There we go. Your order of the white candles. So far so good. Okay. And as you can see, hi Jake, thank you for your order of white candles. Please pay by mobile money to this number. Please find your email attached. Thanks for your business. And the invoice is there. Look at that. It did it in dollars. We can change that out. But for the most part, we got it done on the first try. Pretty good, right? So I think this is something that could be useful to you. Yeah, so that was a bit long, but how cool is that, right? So follow through it, see if you can replicate what I did. If you have any issues, feel free to reach out to me either in the comments or you can email me. My email is also in the comment section. Let me know how I can help. Otherwise, using Document Studio as an add-on in your Google Sheet, in your Google Workspace could really be useful for you as a small business if you're trying to automate your customer workflow for free. I hope this was useful for you. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with everyone you know. Chima Polot. I'll see you next week.